Hey everyone, Jenny here. What's up? What's up? Gotta untangle. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness. I was trying to get my live stream to work on my phone, and for whatever reason, it wasn't. It was like starting live video and it was just going in circles over and over again. And I eventually had to abandon ship and just do this on my computer, which I normally do. But I wanted to be on my couch today because I did that the other day. I was live streaming with Elaine Wellman, who many of you may know. And I'm like, oh, I have this great couch that I could chill out on and chat with you. But alas, the phone was not having it. So here we are, psyched to be with you for our Jam with Jenny episode today. I want to talk to you about how to make gutsy decisions. This is such an important topic because decisions are part of our everyday lives. And I know that a lot of people, a lot of women especially, have a horrible time making decisions. It's like excruciatingly painful. It's not something that you necessarily do with grace and ease and even excitement. So I am going to share with you today a 5-point checklist on when to say yes, because that's really the decision, right? Yes or no. Like that's it, yes or no. Sometimes it's a maybe, or like not now, but if it's not now, then it's no. So this concept was originally taught to me by my first ever coach, my first ever mentor. I wouldn't say she's my first ever coach, but because I've had, coaches along the way that I didn't realize were even necessarily coaching me. But once I became an entrepreneur, back in 2008 and like really stepped out in late 2009, I met this woman named Allie Brown, and she shared this concept of, when to say yes. And so through the years, I've implemented this. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years now, and it's really helpful because I know when to say yes. I know that decisions are part of my growth, they're part of my job, and I want to help you get better here too. So everyone who's tuning in right now, hi. If you're watching live or you're watching this by replay, what's up? I'm super pumped to have you here today. And you may see my kids running around in the background because they're playing out in the snow. There, yep, one of them's walking by now with the sled. It's all good. I do homeschool my kids, and we had a really awesome morning this morning. We were doing, my one son and I were doing baking. My other son and I, we were doing letters. I have a first grader and a third grader, and my daughter is in preschool, and she goes there 3 days a week. So we have this really interesting existence. I never thought I would have a life like this, and yet I have a life like this, and I really, really enjoy it. So let's talk about decisions and when to say yes. So here we go. Number one, is this something that you want with your heart and soul? Okay, and this is, Allie gave me these ideas so many years ago, kind of broke it down for me. I've evolved them a bit to make them really relevant to what I find to be true for my own path. And so for me, I check in not only with my heart, but also with my soul. In my heart, I can feel things. My soul, it's like a voice that I hear inside. That's what the soul is for me. And I often associate the soul with the inner voice. And so for me, when I am deciding if I'm going to say yes to something, is this something that I want with my heart and with my soul? Do I feel it, and do I really hear it inside? And I've learned to have a really strong relationship with that inner voice. I used to drown that out in the past. I didn't know that it was there, that I was allowed to have this relationship with my inner voice. But I realized that it is the most powerful tool that I have. And really, it is my connection with my higher power, with source, with spirit, with God. And so if I'm contemplating yes or no, is this something that I want with my heart and soul? And so for you, is whatever it is that you're needing to decide right now, you're wanting to decide right now, I know you've got a series of decisions today to make. Is this something that you want with your heart and with your soul? Does it feel good to you? And are you tapping into your intuition? What does your intuition say? What does your soul say regarding this particular decision? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, is this something you want with your head? This is where research comes into play, right? especially if it's like a bigger decision. Are you going to buy a particular car? Are you going to move? Is this house a house you're going to buy or rent? Are you going to go out on a date with this person? Are you going to launch this new project? Are you going to create this program? Are you going to create this retreat? Are you going to sign up for a program? You know, I know that many who choose to work with me in one of my programs, they go through whatever process that they have for making that decision. And what I'm sharing with you today can be helpful for you when deciding what moves you're going to make. And so, number 2, is this something that you want with your head? Is there an ROI that you can predict, a return on an investment from this decision that you potentially are going to be making? Okay, so we just did heart and soul, head. Number 3, does this align with your long-term and short-term goals? The question here is this something that's part of your path? When you're contemplating decision making, many decisions are going to feel freaking scary. You're going to be like, oh my God, can I pull this off? And so that's great. You shouldn't be afraid of the fear. You want to really check in with yourself, try to remove emotion from it, and go through step by step and answer these questions. Does this align with your short-term and long-term goals? If it's a yes, awesome, you can proceed. Number 4, does this excite you, even if it's a little scary? Even if it's a little scary. So if you're tuning in, if you're watching this via Facebook Live, then share, do you get scared sometimes when you make decisions? Is that something that you hit up against, that you're like, I really want to do this, but I'm afraid? I'm raising my hand because absolutely that happens for me. You know, I'll see something, I'm like, yes, and I'm like, and oh my God. And I've learned to, that's right, Julia, great to see you here, do it scared. One of my graduates from Get Gutsy Coach Training School, her name is Eleni Andriadis. She's one of our Get Gutsy certified coaches as well. She shared this phrase with me that I love, which is be brave and do it afraid. Be brave and do it afraid. So does this opportunity excite you? Woo, bless me. Even if it is a little scary. And guess what, y'all? More and more as you advance in your business and on your growth path, you are going to hit up against things that are going to scare you. And that's the way it should be. If you're not scared on a regular basis, if you're not hitting up against some fear on a regular basis, then you're not stretching enough. You're not really moving into new terrain. You're just staying really, really safe in this box. You don't want to make any mistakes. You're obsessed with being perfect. You're obsessed with like never ruffling any feathers or never, upsetting anybody or pissing anybody off. And you're never going to succeed if that's the way that you're rolling. You have got to be willing to break through that resistance. Just like, yes, Karen, great to see you here. She says, yes, she does experience fear. Then she second guesses it, and she has to push through it. Yes, it's that resistance. We're breaking through. And so you really want to tap into when you're hitting up against this excitement versus fear piece, is it more like, whoa, versus like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I really don't want to do this. This is not feeling right. This is not feeling good. You want to move into that energy that's more like, oh my gosh, can you imagine what this could be? Like that energy of possibilities, that energy of faith, that energy of like, oh my gosh, kind of like the roller coaster. If any of y'all are roller coaster riders here, it's like, oh my God, look how big that is. I'm going to do it. I don't know what's going to happen. My stomach may stay at the top of the roller coaster, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Okay. And number five on this quest is, and we're doing this checklist, right? Our 5-point checklist on making decisions, yay or nay. Am I making this decision from faith and not fear? From faith and not fear. Are you making it from inspiration versus desperation? Inspiration versus desperation. And I mean, this is really the kicker. This is honestly where I focus so much of my work. And what I've had to get so good at, the faith piece. Faith. I don't feel like I was taught a lot when it came to faith growing up. This is something that I had to find on my own. I was raised by two parents who they divorced when I was younger. My dad is very religious, goes to church every week. He's like super Catholic, but also very open-minded and accepting. And, you know, it's not a knock on Catholicism, but there's some versions of Catholicism that are very closed-minded, and my dad is like super loving and inclusive, and you know, he's that kind of person. Whereas my mom, I lived with her once my parents separated and divorced, and she was not, you know, actively religious. I wouldn't call her like a faith-based woman. And so once we moved away from Georgia to Florida, we didn't go to church. We would go like, you know, Christmas Eve and on Easter, and we'd meet my grandmother there, and like that's the way it was. And not that you have to learn faith in a religious institution. What I found as I went on my way and experienced like major blows with my sister dying at 16, my best friend's brother dying 6 months later after I had turned 17, and then my best friend, that same girl, the sister to the brother, she died 2 years later. I was like thrown into this fire of death and grief and loss. And I learned a lot about faith. And once I, you know, started my career in New York City and like was running with the big dogs, working on big brands, big budgets, traveling the world, celebrities, kind of what you would imagine in a public relations life. It's like a few decades after Mad Men, I feel like that was my life. Although Mad Men was advertising, I was in PR. It was a similar energy, you know, work hard, play hard. And I really started coming face to face with my fears and what is faith to me. And now this is so much what I live and what I teach, you know, those clients who work with me. And shout out to you, Jill. Jill's in my mastermind. We have a call at the top of the hour. And certainly those students who come into my coaching school, this is a lot of what I bring to the table. This is it's kind of what they don't realize they're hiring me for. And this is what I offer. And so much of what you need is this whole idea of walking through your fears and living your life through faith. It's not easy. I say it's simple, not easy. It's a concept I learned in yoga. Simple, not easy. But it's totally possible, and it's totally worth it to play with this energy. I want to read Ruth's comment. You're spot on. I'm staying way too much in my comfort zone, and you're the third one pointing it out today. Okay, Ruth, so third time's a charm. There was a reason why you tuned in today. You needed to hear what I have to say. Y'all, nothing that you want is in your comfort zone. Nothing. Just write that down and take that to heart. Nothing that you want is in your comfort zone. So if that's where you're staying, you will experience mediocre results. You will experience nothing changing. You'll always have this like low grade, sometimes high grade anxiety, this like numbing feeling that something is off. And you won't quite know what it is if you're anything like me, because I did this for years. And all of a sudden you'll be faced with some serious kind of truth. And it will be up to you to decide that you're going to either walk through that fire of your fear to the other side, or you're going to stay there thinking that you'll die if you experience this fear, come face to face with your fear. And it's totally normal. This is like the human condition. Honestly, this is the hero's way. This is the heroine's way. Has anyone here seen that movie? It's called Finding Joe. Finding Joe. Let me know if anyone here has seen that film. If you haven't, I suggest that you get it. It is a great movie, and it really captures this concept of the hero's way. I hear my son screaming out there. The hero's way. We're women here. The heroine's way. So I would love for y'all to check that out. And I would love for you to really tap into what it is that you desire in 2018 and ask yourself and answer honestly, is the path that you're on right now, is the level of support that you have on this path that you're on right now, is that going to get you to where you want to be? Is that going to get you to where you want to be? This is really what coaching is. This is why I'm so passionate about coaching. I have been coaching since 2008. And great to see you here, Thea. Yeah, she saw Finding Joe. Yay. And yes, I do recommend it. Thea is one of our graduates from Get Gutsy Coach Training School. Y'all are going to hear from Thea this week during our Gutsy Coach Week. We have a bunch of episodes on my podcast, many with, coaches who are just doing amazing things. Others with, here comes one son, with some of our graduates. I don't know. You can hang there for a second. They're sending emojis right now. If y'all want to send some more emojis, there they are. You can send the emojis over. Here's my guys. There they are. They like emojis, so send them over. But this is, oh, don't push. Okay. This is real life. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Just chill. Don't hit. This is my life. Chill out. They may send some emojis, but you have to sit. They're only going to send emojis when you follow directions and sit. Okay? So, yes, the path of coaching is a glorious thing. Yeah, they're sending emojis. And it's something that I am super pumped to, spread this message about, like, what coaching offers. Yeah. Right. Thea is a mom of 3 too. She gets it. Like, this is real life. Hashtag real life. Hashtag homeschooling. Hashtag husband will be here any moment to take over. And hashtag, you got to just do what you got to do. And I wanted to talk with y'all today and give you this message about making decisions. And so I want everyone to tune into my podcast this week. Tune in to Get Gutsy. We have so many great episodes for you. Mommy. We've already published several, and we got more to go. I'll be with you in a few moments. And I also want to remind you that enrollment for Get Gutsy Coach Training School, which is the coolest, best coaching school around for spiritual coaches who want to make a difference and a great living, closes next Tuesday, December 19th. Okay. This is it. We're starting in January. It's a 4-month journey. We have such amazing women on board already. The reason I know is because they fill out an application and I decide, yes, they're a fit and my school is a fit for you. And that's just what it is. And I'd love to serve you in our school. We have Julia, who's here right now. She was in our first ever class. She's one of our certified coaches. We have had close to 100 women go through this program and graduate. And now it's your turn. If you are watching this and you haven't been through Get Gutsy Coach Training School and you know that something needs to change for you and you know you want to serve your community in a greater way, stop typing, then it's time for you to get real with yourself and commit to getting the help that you deserve. So you can go to coachtrainingschool.com and check it out. We have 3 payment options for you. We have added a brand new payment plan, which extends it out pretty much for a year for those of you who need that. We have special bonuses when you pay for your tuition in full. We have some awesome bonuses, including a live retreat at my home. The family will not be here. They clear out for my live retreat and go on an awesome trip and leave the place to me, which is really fantastic. And I'm going to teach you how to use these tools. I'm going to teach you how to lead powerful meditations and visualizations for your clients. In fact, that's a brand new bonus that we added, because this is really what's going to separate you from the rest of the coaches in the market who honestly don't really understand the spirit of coaching. That's what I want to teach you, is the spirit of coaching, how to package up your magic, how to do your beautiful work in the world, and how to make 2018 a year that you will never forget because you have broken through some major, major resistance. So thanks for tuning in. Again, coachtrainingschool.com. Any questions on what I shared, type them in the chat. I'll come back and hear what you have to say. I'm going to take a little breather now, go get some lunch, and prepare for my call with my wonderful mastermind clients. Masterminds are other things that you can lead when you are a coach. They're extraordinary. I love my clients in my mastermind. And, this is the time women are being asked to step up and lead. And coaching is such a fantastic container for you to be able to lead. And it would be my pleasure to help you. So coachtrainingschool.com. If you want some more, thanks, Thea. You're the best for leaving the link there. If you want another training from me, tune in on my Facebook page, which on Thursday, December 14th, I'm going to be leading a down and dirty training, straight, simple, and to the point about creating lucrative, transformative coaching packages. So that's going to be on Thursday, December 14th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Tune in. If you miss it live, you can watch the replay. I am just turning up the heat, letting everyone I can know about this glorious path of coaching, and that if you want some serious help and guidance and community on your journey, then look no further than Coach Training School. That's coachtrainingschool.com. And I would love an action for you today as you are finishing listening to this message from me. What are you ready to say yes to? I've given you the 5-step checklist on when to say yes. What are you ready to say yes to? Claim it here right now. It's going to scare you, okay? Don't be afraid of your fear. Fear is your friend. Fear is letting you know that you're alive and you are ready to break through to your next level. Don't be freaked out by the fear. Let the fear guide you and let it allow you to strengthen your faith muscles like never before. Thanks for being here, y'all. This is Jenny Fennick sending you so much love, light, and faith as you get gutsy. I will see you next time. Bye now. Bye. Thanks, everybody, for being here.